All right, thanks for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with this Nigeria newspaper. The major headline saying Anambra boat tragedy, 16 dead bodies recovered, scores still trapped. Rescue continues as Buhari expresses grief over accident. It's a disaster of monumental proportions, says Ngige. You find all of the details on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. We move to the leadership newspaper now. After hell, it's Lokoja that's speaking about the flood situation. If you can see the picture there, where houses look submerged. It says, the writer saying leadership deploys drone in telling the story of the misery of many dead, displaced, and businesses ruined by floods in Nigeria's north central region. All of the details on the front page of the leadership newspaper. To Nature News now, still talking about the flood situation, death, economic loss as flood ravages 23 states in Nigeria. Failure to dredge rivers, build dams causes flooding. Experts reacting there. We move now to the Nigerian News Direct. $1.9 billion oil theft. Discoveries of illegal tapping points on crude oil pipelines hit 58 in 2 states. Illegal bunkering would soon become a thing of the past. Tumpulu reacting as well. All right, we move now to the front page of the Blueprint. PDP crisis amid Wike's insistence on Ayu's resignation. Atiku kickstarts campaign in Uyo today. Mike.
All right, let's move to the Punch newspaper on this side. And it's focusing on the 2023 budget. It says federal government plans 1.35 trillion naira war chest against Boko Haram and bandits. Right? Federal government plans 1.35 trillion naira war chest against Boko Haram and bandits to acquire fighter jets, ammunition, budgets 1 billion naira for terrorists' prosecution. An IG embarks on road patrol in northern states, promises adequate security. You find all this on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Now let's move to the Daily Trust. Daily Trust says how 62 airlines went moribund since 1960. Multiple charges, harsh business environment, responsible. Operators are giving some reasons there. Need for alternative funding. All this you see on the front page of the Daily Trust. And you see some infograph there breaking down all the information in pictures for you to see and understand. That's their Daily Trust. All right, we remember the good old days of Nigeria Airways. Okay, let's move to Business Day. Business Day says CBN CRR hike to mop banks' liquidity by extra 1.6 trillion naira. That's the big story on the front page of the Business Day. And from there, let's go to First News. First News is focusing on the 2023 budget. It says senators move against Buhari's plan to remove fuel subsidy and vow to stop president from totally ending subsidy regime on May 29, 2023. Say discontinuing policy will create serious crisis for Buhari's successor. All right, recall that the president while presenting the 2023 budget before the National Assembly made the plans for the removal of fuel subsidy, saying that it is not sustainable, going forward. But this is the reaction from the National Assembly. That's First News. From there, let's go to the Abuja Inquirer, and it says affordable housing is the focus here. FCTA fails to deliver. Hope of 4,104 housing units by October dashed. No sites for 896 other units in area councils. Delay is not failure. The FCTA is saying this, all right? Delay is not failure. However, Nigerians would expect that if there's a delay, let them know, let there be communication so they understand what the issues are. They could even support you. That's what the Abuja Inquirer has there. From there, let's go to Business AM. Business AM says EMs face stiff headwinds as global growth slows. But Cowrie analysts see hope for Nigeria's equity market. Okay, that's the equity market there, the Business AM. This day is the last one we're seeing on my side here. This day says, emerging business leaders from North matching tech unicorns of the South. Okay, and they are bold, audacious, and ready to take Nigeria to new frontiers. Okay, these are all entrepreneurs here and there. In all, it makes Nigeria bigger, it makes Nigeria proud. That's what it is. Okay, that's this day.
Right.
Veronica.
Let's look at this story on the front page of the First News newspaper talking about the 2023 budget that the president presented before the Senate and members of the House of Representatives. Joint House, it was a joint house where the president presented about a 20.5 trillion naira budget. And part of it was the matter of subsidy. And the president was looking at, saying that, like Mike rightly pointed out, the subsidy could no longer be sustained, and that by May it was going to put an end to the subsidy regime. But the Senate is reacting, saying that they are looking at extending, this to December 2023, because the removal could point or create a crisis for the next administration that will come up. But the matter of removal or non-removal has been an ongoing debate, Sam.
It's an interesting budget. One of the issues in the budget is the fact that the subsidy is going to be out by May, and that is seen by some as cynical, that you just want to push a problem to the next administration. But the issue of subsidy is something that we have not resolved, and we have not decided as a nation what we want to do with it. Right. If we remove subsidies, are we ready for the consequences in the economy? It's a very important issue. The question is, who is benefiting from these subsidies anyway? What are they doing for us? And do we have accountability about this subsidy, so-called? And so it is still an opaque part of our national economics. The other part of the budget is the amount of money going to be spent in the presidency and the National Assembly. Humongous. If you add them together, is amounting to how many trillions? I've forgotten the figures, but that is why the people of ASU are saying, if you are going to spend this amount of money to take care of the presidency, to feed yourself and to do all of that, why don't you even think about sacrificing some of these for education and so on? So some of these contradictions really come out, and then you wonder what our priorities are. Well, what are we giving education? We're spending about 1-point-something trillion on banditry and whatever it is that is left of the war in Boko Haram, Northeast. All those things are interesting, but we also have to realize that there are other important issues like education, infrastructure, and all of those things are also very, very significant.
Mike,
yes.
the matter of subsidy removal or not removing subsidy, are we really ready from your point of view, like Sam has asked? These are the questions we need to ask ourselves.
Nigeria is overripe for the removal of subsidy. It is just the issue of some persons who are businessmen who, make it easy. You make the money very easy. You don't work hard. Just chill because you are within the chain. So the money comes and then... So because they've built a network, a very strong, wide, deep network that they can shake the country. If government says we want to remove it, as the case may be, Nigeria is overripe for it. The point there is, recall that this subsidy issue came, it was during the military regime. That if at the point of 1999, at the point of handing over to the democratic elected government decides, or even the military government at that time, Salam Abubakar said, we're removing subsidy at that time, you see, subsidy would have gone. It wouldn't have been any debate.
Yeah.
But the point there is, we're used to it and we want it this way and some persons benefit and so let's leave it. It's the same thing like the presidential amnesty program. How long are we going to keep pumping monies into amnesty program? The point there is that amnesty was given. Some persons, they said, drop your arms, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. So that platform has been created. But how long do we keep paying those guys who were there? It's totally another debate altogether. So the point there is the money comes cheap. It just keeps flowing. So let's allow the monies to keep flowing. It's the same thing with the state governments. And we've been saying, it seems state governors and state governments are no longer hardworking. Recall the days of the First Republic where all states, all regions were developing at their own pace.
Right, yeah.
So the issue there is that we discovered oil, and then oil is the thing now. So you just go to Abuja, the money comes. So why do we have to bother about all of those things? So the issue there is, if you remove subsidy, of course, the price of oil will shoot up. It's very normal. It's very elementary economics. Because the issue there is that we are capping it to say, okay, the price of fuel in Lagos is the same price of fuel in Maiduguri. No, it won't be like that. Because in true terms, the cost of transportation, the cost of all of those things, storage and all of that will be factored in. But what will make it different is that remove subsidy, the prices will shoot up, more investors will go in, more players will go in, and then there will be competition. After a little while, because there's competition, the prices will come down. These are the things we're talking about. Nigeria is not the only country with oil in the world. Nigeria is not the only country. In fact, every country in the world. Go to South Africa. Go to even all the little countries around. They all use oil.
Yes.
You understand? So the point there is the Nigerian situation cannot be, if it's like this, the heaven is going to fall. Nigeria is not the poorest of all the other countries. Even if we have the collection of become the capital of poverty as far as the ratings are concerned. But Nigeria is not the country with all of the poor people around the world. So the issue there is that it is just the issue of people not allowing the subsidy to go. Recall when this government came in and they said, let us, oil price, let us shoot it to 140, 45 or 42 as the case may be. We're removing oil subsidy so that by the time that money will use it for...
The government came with a proposal of, cushioning the effect of giving 5,000 naira to certain persons.
So the point there is that, so was it a deceit at that time when government said we've removed subsidy? In fact, there was an outright statement that we have removed subsidy. There's no longer subsidy. So that Nigerians agreed because they told Nigerians that when we make it that for 140-something from 90-something,
96 or so,
as the case may be, then everything will be okay after a little while. Here we are.
So where's
still
the matter
talking? In fact, there was a period of time. There was a period of time. It was it's NNPCO that is putting subsidy. It's not government to. So all of that conversation went on. So it means Nigerians, when they look at these things, you'll be like, government, what are you guys talking about? So even when they are genuine, it looks like we are still skeptical until we see the main thing. So subsidy is overdue for removal.
Right.
We will feel the pinch, but it will become better.
That's what we say, that the economics of subsidy is still opaque. We don't know who is getting what, how much they are spent here or not. They just tell us one big sum. They spend so amount on subsidy. Break it down for us. Let us see. How did it go? Who benefited? Where did you put the money? Where did it come from? And things like that. Now, in this budget, they have about 3-point-something trillion on there or subsidy.
But it was slashed.
Yes. But, well, let's see how it goes. Because if you look at the budget, you have a lot of money going to recurrent, and the capital projects is not as high as the current. And this is not how to go with the budget. The 20 trillion naira budget, which is still depending on $70 per barrel in terms of its projection. Well, we'll see how it goes with the turbulence of the oil price in the world just now.